So let's start with the beginning. You were raised in Harrison.
That's right.
You earned a music degree from John Brown University. And then you end up in Nashville and you're playing guitar professionally. Tell me, at that point, you're living the dream in Music City.
That's right.
Tell me about that. You'd just been married.
Just married 6 months.
So
which
you're in
is
Nashville.
fun.
Tell us about
Yeah.
what that was like and touring professionally.
Yeah, so moving to Nashville, I like to say it this way. For me, it was coming from Harrison, like small town boy, small town vision, to all of a sudden traveling the world and seeing all these different cultures and influence of other people, and just walking away with that experience, being in a different city most nights of the year, playing shows. It just changes your world perspective. And so bringing that back and moving here later, that's what really changed it for me, was going, okay, I've been in London, I've been in Australia, New Zealand, all these places for extended amount of time playing music, and it just changes you, being in a culture, and then also getting to perform for those people, but then during the day, getting to dine with those people, see architecture, you get inspired. And so those years, it changed me. It changed me for life.
So you're in Music City, and then you and your wife make the decision to move back to Northwest Arkansas. And I'm trying to wrap my mind around a musician in Music City making that leap to Northwest Arkansas. So tell me what motivated that decision.
It was extremely hard. It was an extremely hard decision. It was over a month-long decision. And Lauren, my wife, God bless her, she really went through it with me of, the moody artist, musician of going, well, what if we do this? And it's giving up this. And she's always been the calm and just the constant, of saying there's some things you can't see until you make the move. And she had gotten offered a job in this area, so that was a proponent. But a large part of it was just being on the road for that long, and what that does to a relationship and a marriage. It's not easy. I was gone about 260 days a year for 3 years on the road. And while she was in school studying, that was great. Once she started looking at graduating and working, and me being gone that much, we knew we wanted to have a family at some point. So we had to have those adult conversations of what is this going to look like? And what are we most passionate about? What are those non-negotiables for us? What are those drivers of life? And one of those was we need to be together. And if I told you the full story, your jaw might be on the floor, just how crazy it worked out. But everything it was like something just rolled it out and made it so easy to transition here once we decided to.
So you end up in Northwest Arkansas in a home and built just a very small studio in that home. And that was really to allow yourself to maintain that connection to Nashville, correct?
That's right.
So what was that like?
Yep, so leaving there, part of it is if you choose to leave, you still want to keep your connections open. And for me, being an electric guitar player, I thought, well, I could still just work remotely and send my guitar tracks back and forth. If somebody wanted guitars on a project, I could still stay active, even not being there physically. And that was true. There were some projects that I was still able to do tracks and send, but what really started happening was the culture here started surprising me. We had just sort of what I would call just a glorified demo station, where we had a couple of tracks that we could record simultaneously. Then that grew to, I think, 4 or 8 total. And what started happening was we would use that to help people get demos that they would then take to real studios, and we were just helping them get the ideas. Right. What happened a couple of times was artists were coming back and going, we like the way this sounds, can we just use this? And of course, you can. And it just sort of, snowballed into the need, made us move to vision of, okay, it's time to take another step. It's time to take another step.
So then comes Haxton Road Studios 1.0, or like the beta test.
That's right, that's right.
So you move, you talk to some of your partners and you're trying to figure out what that looks like. So then you literally move to Haxton Road, and people may not know that. Yeah. It was a dirt road.
It was a dirt road.
So it's
not anymore.
Well, most things in this area are not dirt roads anymore. So you're then in a studio surrounded by cows and dirt roads, but that is allowing you to kind of continue that vision and understand the need.
Yeah, It was. My lead engineer, Ryan Chola, and I were talking one afternoon at a Razorback baseball game, actually, just about how the studio had grown and had this vision for what if we put something that was legit, but not yet fully commercial in a commercial space like what we're in now, but what if we had a space that was still had the amenities of a professional studio, had multiple rooms, had a cozy environment and an inspiring environment, great equipment. And so he and I just started beginning to dream about what that would look like. And then we found the land, we built the house on it and built the studio. And by the time we were finished, we had multiple records on hold from artists that were coming in to record.
Those were probably fun times. You know, as you're building a business, sometimes the most fun times are when you're in your garage figuring it out. What was that experience like as you're growing and seeing celebrities needing to come in and do a voiceover work, or someone recording there, and it's kind of that end product? What was that experience like there as you're kind of seeing the growth and the need?
There's something special about home studios that you can't get in commercial. There's just, you can't even hardly explain it, but there were some of our best days were in that, even though it was a humble space. It was beautiful once you got in, but the fact is working with some of the commercial clients that we work with and the higher in profile clients, having them come down a dirt road.
Keep going.
And getting a call from management going, we're lost. I'm like, you're not. Just keep going a little bit. Once you walk in the door and up the steps, you'll get it and it'll feel fine. But getting them to that point, it just started leading to that question of, okay, we need to think bigger, and more so than that, we need to invest into the community, our own dollars, and let's give back. Let's make our mark. Let's put something here and serve and allow people to come and be a part of this bigger vision. So that, combined with out-of-state clients now coming in after a couple of years of being there, it just that opened the doors for us to go, we need to think bigger.
And so that organic growth led to this space, which was built in 2017.
That's right.
But you told me a quote off camera about why you chose downtown Bentonville, and I love your perspective on that. So will you share why this space and kind of how'd that happen, and how'd you get situated here?
Yeah, we were dreaming about where the next location would be. And of course, being the artsy type, sometimes you have that fear, and I call it moodiness of, oh, it probably won't work. Or, you have your highs and lows in anything in life if you let fear creep in. But along that path, it just really dawned on me, like, my mindset going into this is going to make or break what happens and who I allow to be a part of the vision, first of all. So I kept my circle tight, and I let the vision circle be tight as well. But one person, two that are a part of the same development team, two people that I told my vision to were Patrick Sabaro and Todd Renfro, both with Lamplighter, which are development guys in downtown. I'd known them for years, but I just told them my vision separately, and what happened was remarkable. I said in passing one day, if you guys ever come across a cool piece of land that could be commercial in nature, that would be fun for kind of a cool, high-end, elegant recording studio, let me know. And Todd just kind of raised up and said, we should talk. And this just goes to show you what I'm about to share shows the culture here of what I've found in this area. I met with them. They had this property that we're sitting in under contract. And they said, would you be interested in coming in as a partner on this? And I said, I can't believe you're even offering that. What does that look like? And they said, you take half, we'll take half. Like, we won't be in each other's business, but hopefully the development that we do will, each other will help the whole. And so you take these two, do your commercial thing, we'll build some townhomes, and we'll develop this southeast corridor. And the rest is history. We went through a few offers situation of things falling out and then coming back, but ultimately we were able to get it, and it worked. So really part of the success here and this story was because two guys weren't greedy, and they said, let's give somebody else an opportunity to create and see this vision through. And so I'll forever be grateful to those guys for seeing and believing in me and the vision.
I'm going to throw a Patrick saying out there, but he does often say, where does it hurt and how can I help? And so that's a very a good saying for a Bentonville mentality of people stepping in, sometimes when you don't expect it,
That's right.
to help boost you to that next level. And you chose downtown because you wanted to, did you say, see and smell downtown?
Yeah.
Was that the saying?
Well, somebody said, where would you want to be? And I said, if I could have my, rathers, I would want to see and smell the square. That was a statement I used, but basically just, I wanted to bring life to this Southeast corridor. I knew that it was going to be a recording studio, but I knew it was capable of being so much more than that. And so I wanted to bring a real estate development along with a studio that would bring life, that would bring stories, that would bring people around it, and that would, be bigger than just a studio, that we could invite other people into our vision and whatever they're passionate about, whatever business they're bringing here upstairs above the studio. All of a sudden you would just see this life and this ecosystem start to form of art and business colliding, which is the vision of all of Haxton.
Within these walls, you do work with artists, amazing artists that produce beautiful music, but you also work with some of the top companies and brands in the world.
We do.
So explain, how Haxton can cater to this wide range of projects and all of the things that you've done throughout the years.
Yeah. So obviously music is a front runner of what we do, working with bands, artists. But really 50% of our business and clientele is creating what we call a sound strategy for brands. So we work with agencies of all kinds, with brands direct, companies direct, and we'll start and basically work alongside their marketing team, or sometimes we'll even take the lead on that, and we'll come up with audio logos for those companies. We'll come up with, a lot of people use the word jingles. We use the word sound strategy, basically a full-blown, when somebody hears this track or they hear this audio logo, it just speaks your company, and it's gonna come along with the music, the feeling, and it's gonna invoke what you want from the consumer. Is that trust? Do they need to trust your product? Do they need to buy your product? Do they need to have more confidence in your product? And we will ask those kind of questions, and then we'll sit down with our writing team in-house. We got an in-house publishing company, in-house writing team, and we'll go to work and we'll create a custom song that by the end of it, the consumer will feel what we want them to feel.
There's
For
a lot
that
of
brand.
thought
So
that's put into those things that we may not even as consumers think about,
Well,
all the back work there.
everything you're hearing and seeing is ultimately shaping what you think and what you feel and what you believe about a product. So music, video, all those things are just appealing to, the consumer's senses and the decision that they're going to make. So companies are really stepping up today. There's been a lot of big articles come out recently of some of the major brands, how they're handling their music budgets, and really coming alongside creating strategies to boost that consumer confidence and to get their message across, rather than just, here's the stock music that everybody else is using. Let's go for something custom that really speaks of who we are and what we believe in our company's culture.